So Mayuri, tell me, in your last project, what are different types of testing, or like what are different types of testing you did in your project?
Okay, so in the last project, like we did the firstly, like we performed the smoke testing whenever we got built. So after that, we moved towards the sanity testing. So smoke testing is just to check whether the build or the update code is stable or not, and we check the basic feature. Means if we want to start the testing, so firstly we will have to check if basic features are working properly or not. If we are directly proceeding with the other type of testing, and if the basic functionality is not working, then what will be the use? There won't be any use, right? So we first do that and then move towards the sanity testing. So it's like one level deeper than the smoke testing. So we are checking here the main functionalities along with the what are affecting to the core functionalities, and then we perform integration testing. So in the Alexa application, there are so many modules and the skills. So we were basically checking the data flow between these two modules. So firstly, we are just taking two modules, but integration testing can be done between two or more modules also. So we were checking whether the invocation skill is passing data to the account linking page or not, so that a user can log in and test, test or use the Alexa app. So we perform integration testing, and then we perform user acceptance testing. That user should accept this device, and it should be according to the user interface or not. So this type of testing we perform, and we were performing the GUI testing also, because the main part of our testing was the UI, user interface. That is the graphical user interface. So here we mainly focus on, because when you have app, that Alexa application, mainly you just interact to the model, or the 1P model, you have 2P model, or the small models of Alexa. So here, you can, we work on user interface testing, whether user is able to get the correct response at a time, and we were also checking the response time of Alexa. So,
Okay, fine. So for that, did you write like test case and test scenarios for that?
yeah, I wrote test cases and scenarios also.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. We'll move to the next question, Mayuri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what are different types of testing?
Okay, there are three types of testing. First is functional, second one is non-functional, and third one is maintenance. So in functional, we just check the behavior of the software, how it is according to the user's perspective. So here we perform smoke testing, sanity testing, integration testing, regression testing, retesting, and GUI testing, alpha testing, beta testing, every kind of testing. And in non-functional, we are just checking the performance of the software, whether we are checking the stability and the response time of the software, whether it is able to take load with the design number of user or more number of users. So we are checking in such a way that the customer should get the expectation as we mentioned in the requirement analysis. And in maintenance testing, I am not sure about maintenance, but after releasing the software into production environment, what is the behavior of the software? We are just checking that. So I guess
Post deployment of
yeah, post deployment.
Okay, fine. So if we talk about specific load testing, right? So what do you think, for each and every software, do we need that load testing, or is there a specific category of software where we need load testing?
I think every software should need this, specifically with the mobile application, because we are continuously using mobiles, right? And if we are not performing the load testing, so we are not sure that how many users can use this. So if we
then what about desktop applications?
Like every software will require it, I guess.
Yeah, but let's take an example where any desktop application we use on local, right? There we have only one user. So in that case, do we need that?
No, 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 no. At the situation we don't need, yeah, for the
Okay,
local machine.
okay. Means
Yeah,
software or website which are running.
yeah, yeah. Through
The-
internet, if we can able to access, then we are surely doing the load testing.
and for that, uh, do we need any kind of like third party application or software to test that, or in browser we can test that? How we will do that load testing?
I think
Okay,
we,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
I think we don't need any third party for this. So
Mhm.
through browser, we can we can perform this type of testing. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Sorry.
Okay. Let's take an example. Let's say
Yeah.
you are working on any banking software. Okay.
Okay.
And that software is not released. Means that is not open to customers. Right. And you are doing load testing for that. Then in that case, how you will check that load? Because right now it is not running. Right. Means it is not open for users. So in that case, you are not able to identify how many users are there. So in that case, how you will test that? Do we have any environment for that to test?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall this.
Okay, okay, no worries. We'll move to the next question.
Yeah.
So, Mayuri, tell me, what is the difference between bug, defect, and error?
Okay. So bug is something like if the mistake is found by the tester, then
Mhm.
we call it as bug. Actually, everything is same when it comes to the technical part, but the
Mhm.
terminology is different. So bugs is as I said. So if it found by the tester, then we call it as bug. Defect is like when customer finds any mistake in the production environment, then we call it as defect. And the error, we can say it's a mistake in the code. Generally, developers implement the code. So
Mhm.
any mistake done by him is called as the error. It's a human mistake generally.
Okay, so have you came across any kind of error while working on any project?
Yeah, actually, when I was working on the login field,
Mhm.
like the forgotten password was not working. Means
Okay,
instead of getting that forgotten password page where we can actually enter the new password and the confirm password, so it was not getting. So only the blank page was displaying. So I reported that bug
okay,
and yeah, I assigned it to the developer.
okay, great.
Yeah.
We'll move to the next question. Tell me, what are different types of defect are there?
Mm, uh, you mean to say priority severity?
No, priority severity not. Types of defect, for example, latent defect, like that.
No, I didn't get it through the
Okay,
yeah.
no worries. Tell me different types of black box testing.
Yeah. So black box testing is nothing but like we are checking according to the user interface. What we are performing, like what we have to show to the user is a black box testing. So I can say the smoke testing, the sanity testing, whatever we are doing through the UI. So integration testing and retesting, and we can say GUI testing. So
Mhm.
these are some examples of black box testing.
And how it differs from white box testing?
So in white box testing, we should be able to get the internal function of the application. Means
Okay.
in white box, we should be knowing that how the code has been written, the framework used, or the structure of the code. Means some basic knowledge of coding we require. But in black box testing, we should not require this kind of knowledge, or we should not require the internal structure of the application. We are just testing in the UI part, like how user can interact with the application. So,
Okay. Fine.
yeah.
We'll move to next question. Tell me the difference between static and dynamic testing.
Okay. So static testing is a verification and dynamic testing is a validation. So in static testing, we are just dealing on the documentation part. So here, no execution of code will be happen. But in validation, there will be code execution. Means we will get the actual code and we will test accordingly. So here we can say, in verification, we can say, are we building the product right? And in the validation, we can say, are we building the right product? Means consider one example of a mobile. So when we are going to a shop, we will first check the basic features, the look and feel of the product, means the color and the camera. So we are not going into that much of depth. When we are actually using it, then we will get to know that, yeah, this is working like this and this is working like this. It is it meeting our expectation or not? So this is the basic difference I can say, that verification is like just performing documentation part and trying to build the software. And here we actually build the software and we are checking it is according to the expectation or not in the validation phase.
Okay, means in dynamic we will go into more deeper, right?
Yeah, like after getting actual product, how that product is, whether it's meeting the expectation that we firstly describe or not. So that is thing. Means here product will not be
Can
there.
we, yeah, can we say that like rigorous testing, or it is different? What do you think?
Yeah, we can say like that.
Okay, fine. Tell me, what is difference between test case and test scenarios?
Okay, so test scenario is what to test and test cases is how to test. Means test scenario is a shorter one, but the test cases is like the overall description in which we will be having the test ID, test steps, and test cases. The means overall description we can say, means how we are testing the application. But scenario is just what we have to test.
Yeah, and what do you think while doing actual testing, which one is helpful?
Both are helpful.
But means there might be any one of them
Okay.
which is more helpful, right?
Yeah, so I can go with the test cases then.
Test cases. So can we skip test scenarios then?
Actually, it's not like that we can skip, but most of the companies are skipping the test scenarios. They are directly going for the test cases because of the shortage of time, or we can say that methodology is not is there in their industry. So we can directly go to the test cases, but the scenarios we have to keep in mind, like.
Okay, fine. You might aware about software testing life cycle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there is one phase called test planning, right? Yeah. Can you tell me what is that test planning?
Test planning is something I can say where all the software testing related activities that we are going to future, that is in the documented format, like the scope and when to start the testing, when to stop the testing, and who will be the point of contact. everything will be in detail. Actually, there are so many attributes, but at this time I'm able to recall some of this.
Yeah, but you said like when to start testing, right? Before
Yeah.
development, we can't, right? Can we?
Before development, yeah, it's like when actually testers are involved from the start itself in the,
Okay.
yeah.
You mean to say before development also?
No, that is not the real kind of testing. Just we are testing the designs, whether it is according to the expectation or not. If there is something we feel like there can be a bug, or we can say this part can have an error, then we can directly should have interaction with the team, and we will then like take step accordingly.
Okay. Uh, are you aware about Agile methodology?
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm using it.
Okay, great. Tell me, not descriptive, tell me a few, it's like few points of that Agile methodology.
Okay, so shall I start with the principle? Okay,
Just name is fine.
okay. So Agile is having something called Scrum,
Hmm.
Sprint. So Scrum is a like a 15-minute short meeting. So where we just discuss there what we are going to do today, what we have done in the past, and what we are going to do in the upcoming days. Every planning like we are discussing to better the flow of the project. And sprint is like it's a duration. So generally it's a 2 weeks duration in which as an entire team we will deliver a piece of software to the customer. So in some companies it can be like 3 weeks, but maximum it's 2 weeks only.
Okay,
And
in sprint, you said like entire team. Entire team means development.
yeah, testing means from scratch of the developing of software, entire thing of SDLC. Like
And what is there any role of BA in the in?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So BA, which is business analyst, he will interact with the client, or in some companies there is a product owner who will basically interact with the client, understand whatever the requirements is from the customer, and the BA or the product owner will analyze that requirements. They will make the functional document, and they convert that functional document into the software document, that is the SRS software. Software. Sorry, I'm not able to recall the long form.
okay, no worries.
But yeah.
So in Agile methodology, there is one term called blocker. Have you came across that? Blocker?
Uh, Actually, I didn't come across that, but I think I have I know the general meaning.
Mhm.
So blocker is something like the major issue through which we are not able to test anything. Something is blocking, so we are not
Mhm.
like going to the forward step.
Yeah,
That's what.
yes. Actually, in Scrum, in daily Scrum meeting, we have blocker section also. Those having
Okay.
blockers, they
Oh,
can mention. Yeah.
so this is the
Okay.
same what I told.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We'll move to the next question. Do you know what is web application testing? You can just tell me what are different things we will test in short.
For the web application.
Yeah, web application.
Okay. Like we will check each and every functionality according to the requirements. So consider any website, consider e-commerce website. So we will check the registration part,
Hmm.
and login field, the entire login page, and the payment gateways, and whether we are able to like add product in the cart. So these
Okay.
are the main functionalities of the e-commerce.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that accordingly, then we can perform our testing.
Okay, fine. So Mayuri, last question from my side. That will be like kind of practical thing. let's take one example of banking website. Okay, and there we have like login page and home page. Only two pages are there. Okay, and when we will log in, then we'll redirect to home page. Okay, so in this case, what you have to do, you have to tell me what are different test case and test scenarios you will write for that.
Okay, from the login page, it's directly redirected to the home page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Means after
So,
login.
yeah. Okay, so firstly, I'll there will be a requirement, some requirements of the login that the password is between these bits of character.
Yeah, you might have came across banking website, right?
Yeah.
So you can imagine how that banking website will be there, and what are different things. For example, say session and strong password. Like
Yeah.
that
Okay.
way, you can imagine and you can tell me.
Okay. So the firstly username and the password will be there on the login page. So we can write test cases like whether the cursor, like the username field is clickable or not, or there is a box present in front of the username, and the both fields are clickable or not, and the forget password functionality. If any user is not able to remember the password, he should able to set the new password. And according to me, there should be one more column like insertion of account number to check the balance, or the check the FDs and or the RDs, like whatever he has in his bank or her bank. So according to me, this should be there. And also we can say, mm, and there should not be any sign up from the Facebook or Gmail, because it is somewhat secured, like banking application is secured. So there should not be the case. And
What about pattern of password?
yeah, pattern of password, like it should be a unique pin that is in numbers. And or it some banking application, they are also using the in which we use as a mobile fingerprints and the ring pattern, so that we can also check.
Okay. Apart from this, what about load testing, performance testing?
Load testing. Okay.
Yeah, load performance.
Okay. So load testing is something what we are checking the software by just applying load with the design number of users and the list number of users, and we are also checking the stability and the response time. And
Yeah, first of all, do we need that for this banking application?
Yeah, we need it. Like
Yes,
when,
because
yeah, when many
yeah,
users are using that application, so the number can go high. So that website should be able to take up that load. And we can also perform stress testing here.
and what about internet connection?
Yeah, it should be fast.
Yeah, before that we need to check whether we have internet connection or not, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mayuri. With that question, we are come up to end of the interview session.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you so
I'm done
much.
from my side. Do you have any question for me?
Um, no. So last question actually.
Yeah, yeah.
When will be the feedback session we will get?
Yeah, that will be within a week. Once we complete with all the students, then we will share the schedule of for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Mayuri.